I'm gonna go first.
Yeah, come on.
Whee! She's always got to be first. If for no other reason than to turn us around at a certain point and say, okay, that was enough. So Chitra's going to go ahead and take Chloe on the walk without stopping. And I'm going to take you along on the trail and show you some more things and show you what the trail's all about. We did the Beaver Meadow Trail last night and that was quite nice, very beautiful. It was in the evening. The mosquitoes did eventually run us off, but we got to see, thanks to Chloe spotting it, or smelling it I guess, a little green tree frog. If you've never seen one, and I've never seen one in person, they are like the size of a fingernail. It's so cool. I come in. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Yeah, that's what we need. Let's fire her up.
Sorry. I'm assuming you're implying that's not what we need by your sarcasm.
Okay, Chloe, you are now a tree frog sniffing dog. Okay, tree frog sniffer. That's what you are. Let's
We
go.
would like to see 5 more tree frogs today. So, walking and videotaping like this is a little challenging because there's a lot of roots down on the ground, which is why I keep moving my eyes away from the screen. So, this is Beaver Meadow Trail. It's 2.3 kilometers long. We are at Mikisew Provincial Park. This is our second of 10 parks that we'll be visiting this summer, all around the outside of Algonquin Park. In addition to the parks around Algonquin that we'll be staying at, we'll also be staying at Acre and Kiosk, 2 access campgrounds for people going into the backcountry. And I see a big spongy onesie somewhere. A little bag here. I have a cleaning cloth and I'm going to clean you off. How's that look? Okay. Onwards. We are this close to actually getting to the rest of the trail that we started yesterday. We are following the blue markers. We actually walked part of this last night because it's the way you get off the trail from the Beaver Meadow. It's kind of a shared part of the trail. But we didn't see much of this part because 1, it was dark, and 2, the mosquitoes ran us off the trail. Trillium dried up. What I like about hiking trails, either the same trail multiple times or in different directions or with different people, different times of the day, is you spot different things and your focus is somewhere different. If it's beautiful light coming through, then I might look for shadows that create interesting silhouettes. If it's a particularly wet, overcast day, I might focus on mushrooms, where somebody else might be looking for butterflies and dragonflies. And if I have more time, I might try to be more artistic. Get different angles, different motions, things like that, where if I have less time because I'm tired, it's too hot, it's too cold, I'm with somebody else so I don't want to slow down, or the mosquitoes are getting me, then I have a tendency of going faster and missing more things. And that's true for if I'm doing videos, if I'm doing photography, or I'm just hiking. It's a beautiful ostrich fern. One of the things I have to keep in mind is that because I can't see or hear Chitra or Chloe, I have to keep track of which trail I'm on. Ooh, that was a huge tree that's fallen and just rotting, eh? Be some good habitat there. Ooh, the mosquitoes are terrible this morning. I'm spotting lots of Indian pipe. I'm trying to spot a good thing of them, like this. This is pretty good. Oh, I see some beautiful mushrooms up here. Anybody know what type of mushrooms those are? So this is late July, and this is our first camping trip, thanks to the virus. And you can see I don't have my hiking legs under me. And normally by this time we will have been camping quite a few different times, even if it's just weekends and such. So, taking pictures. I think I'm just starting to get into the trip. First couple of days were a little challenging. If you've seen the videos, you'll know what I'm talking about, at least to a degree. It's just nice to be outside, out hiking, out in nature, away from the news and social media and everything like that. And I really hope you guys are getting out there too, even if it's just for the day, even if it's just for an evening, and being safe, but, you know, recharging those batteries, because we're all feeling very stressed and we're all feeling very isolated. And there's places close to home, I'm sure, that you can get out to. So, you know, do that for yourself and spend a little time outside. I think I kind of have to move back a little bit to really give you some perspective on the little, almost like a canyon that we're just entering now. All of these rocks would have been placed here from the glaciers. So imagine the power and the size a glacier would have to be to move a rock like this. And a lot of these rocks, it's not just one. They've been pressed together through force. They've been put together in a way that only a glacier could do. Now what I do see up this hill are a whole bunch of, let me see if I can get up here without killing myself. This way. Coral fungi. Nice specimens too. Aren't those lovely? Looks like something that should be in the ocean. Hence why it's called a coral fungi. And they're doing really, really well because there's moisture coming off the top. You can see up there, it just funnels right down into this location. Vernal woods over there. This place in the forest that holds water. Not the same as a river or a lake or a stream. Usually in spring. So here's one of those silhouettes I was talking about. Just get a nice little drop of sunlight coming through, hitting the leaves, and creating these beautiful silhouettes on the forest floor, or in this case, on a fallen log. One thing I've noticed on these trails is I talk a lot more at the beginning of the trail than I do near the end. And I'm not sure if that's just because I've run out of things to say, or I want you to enjoy the trail without having to listen to me talk about it. And obviously, if Chitra and Chloe are with me, that's some other things, other interactions that I can use. I'm also kind of, my eyes are moving around all over the place looking for cool little things to show you, watching where I'm stepping, making sure I'm following the trails. So it's a lot to take in. I'm also swatting skeeters. Although mosquitoes are much better than black flies or deer flies. So as you can tell, this deep in the forest there aren't a lot of wildflowers. Lots of ferns, lots of mushrooms and fungi. Remember that black fly I was telling you about that I didn't have flying around me? Yeah, he has arrived. Welcome to the buffet of Trisha. You would think I would know exactly how far 2.3 kilometers was, because it's what we usually walk that. Or more in the morning with Chloe at home. Excuse me. But it feels different in the forest. At the last park, 6 Mile Lake, we saw a lot of gypsy moths laying eggs on a variety of trees all over the park. But I've just started looking here and I haven't seen any. We'll have to see if Chitra spotted any. So I don't know if this is past their northern range, or I just haven't been looking carefully enough, because we didn't see them at 6 Mile Lake initially until we start looking, and then you're like, oh my god, they're everywhere. I love this bird. Now correct me if I'm wrong, I think that's a kind of wood thrush, not a robin, not an American robin, but another kind of wood thrush. I never see them, I only hear them. Here's some more of that fungi. It almost looks like something peeling. Obviously the rock isn't peeling. I guess this rock isn't rolling because look, there's moss on it. This little fern like to grow in the most difficult places. Check that out. There's almost no soil there. It's basically coming out of a little bit of soil that the lichen created in a crack, and it's getting moisture, probably getting held there from the moss. Get a piece of the rock. That's an old boardwalk that goes nowhere. The trail has been moved, but the boardwalk is still there and looks actually in, decent condition, which means it hasn't been there unused for a while. I really do need to bring my fern book and see if I can identify some of these ferns. Actually, it's not even a book, I have a little card too. So if you look on the back of this one, there are no little seed pods, because that's one of the ways to determine what kind of a fern it is. Does it have these little seeds on the back? I'll see if I can find a fern that actually has them and show you. What's going to happen now is I won't find another fern, or at least not a different fern. They call that Murphy's Law. I'll show you this other thing. I just have to find another fern. There's a gazillion ferns. Now these are called Fern Allies. Kind of classification. Could be horsetails. What's the other thing? See, I'm out of practice. So that bushy one that looks like a little tree is a horsetail, and these other ones are called something else, and I can't remember what the designation of them are. Again, it's a grouping, and then there's different ones depending on different characteristics. Okay, here's a different fern, I believe. Maybe not. Maybe it's just yellower. Let's check it out. Yep, no seeds on the back. Okay. We will keep looking. There's lots of ferns here. They're just the same ones that aren't letting me show you the seeds on the back. I'm not even sure if they're called seeds. I was going to say maybe it's just not the season for them, but I see this one has them. Can you see them? Little tiny seeds along the edges. Now that's one row on the side of each leaf there, each stem leaf, whatever you call it. So that would help identify. I feel like I'm walking through a blood donation clinic. A whole bunch of these. That's not a birch, so it's huge. I'm going to show you in relation to my hand. It's pretty big. Not that I have a big hand. A whole bunch of them on here. This one over here is even bigger. There's actually two there. Three. So I think generally speaking these grow on the flat side bottom, or the flat side down, which means, for example, this one was growing there when the tree was vertical, but this one has grown there after the tree fell down. That's what I'm guessing. Same. Nature is beautiful. So we've got a little system set up. We've got a bucket full of soapy water. Just pretend you're a washing machine. If you never see Chitra wear this again during the trip, we're on our 3rd day, then you'll know that it was too wrinkled for her to wear. Stand up. Wait. Bob's your uncle.